Welcome back to another episode of the Cody Tucker Show. As always, I'm your host, Cody Tucker. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, the one and only Miss August Sky. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for
I'm
having me.
absolutely no problem at all. I've been looking forward to this. Talk about movies, which obviously we're going to talk about everything, but I've been looking forward to just talking about movies with someone. It's been a while since I've done that. So,
Oh, I know, right? Same.
yes.
I'm a big horror. I'm not only horror movie, but I'm just a big horror. Why do I keep repeating myself? I'm a big movie fan.
Oh, I know. No, you're good. Trust me. Yeah. So before we kick into things, anything you'd like to promote? Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
Well, for anyone who wants to find me, I am on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, Twitter. I might be shadow banned, and there are like a lot of fake accounts of me, so just beware. But everything is at _August_Sky, and Sky is spelled SKYE and XX. So you guys can find me anywhere in there. I did actually relaunch my podcast called Hustle Bunny, which is like a very kind of like dive into the adult industry. Like I've done a lot of different forms of like sex work, so I try to keep people informed and like people who are looking to get into the industry, kind of like a realistic perception of it. That's from like being a dancer, from doing adult films, and from doing all kinds of different things. So yeah, you guys can definitely
Yeah.
give that a listen as well too.
Hell yeah. Is that how you started dancing?
Yeah, I started off as being a dancer. Actually, I started off being a shot girl at a strip club, and then I
Okay.
decided to start dancing, and then I just kind of never looked back.
Yeah. Were you always a pretty out? I feel like you just have to be so fucking outgoing to be involved in the adult film industry in any way. What? So I was wondering, have you always been just a very outgoing person?
You know what? It's not. I guess I'm not very out because I'm pretty shy. When people see me in real life, like I'm actually
Yeah.
pretty quiet and pretty shy. But I've always been into like performing and like being an entertainer and being in entertainment. And yeah, you do have to be outgoing. But I think what's nice about dancing, or what was nice about dancing, and even like when I was just working customer service jobs,
Yeah.
was like it forces you to have to talk to people and talk to different types of people every single day.
Yeah.
And I actually learned a lot, and it makes me more comfortable in a lot of different situations, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely do have to be, you don't have to necessarily be outgoing, but you have to be able to push yourself out of and be uncomfortable to a certain
Yeah.
extent, because you do have to go walk up and introduce yourself and talk to a random person that you know nothing about,
Yeah.
right? And at the end of the day, you're trying to sell something. You're trying to sell a dance, or you're trying to sell a champagne
Mhm.
room, whatever it is. So you do have to be able to be uncomfortable to get comfortable with that kind of
Yeah.
work.
Well, anytime you're starting a conversation, like you're the one who has to initiate it, I think is super uncomfortable. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so awkward. I mean, and I've gotten to have conversations with a lot of different people, very interesting people who were nice enough to come do this bullshit. And I still get super nervous, thinking oh my God, I'm about to sound like a complete jackass, which I should be used to by now. But
Yeah.
here we
Yeah.
are.
It never ends, like, you know what I mean? But still, like, I use my conversation skills that I've learned throughout my adult career into like my everyday kind of like life, which does make it nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still fear like sounding like a jackass, right? Like it's
Yeah.
inevitable.
Sometimes it is. Oh, it is. It's the more you talk, the more you are going to say something that you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
And the more you talk, you're just like, shut up. It's just like word vomit. You're like, can I just regurgitate it all? I'm just digging
God.
myself into a deeper hole,
Oh,
and this is not it.
I do it so bad. I have a real tendency to over explain because I'm worried that people aren't going to understand what I'm saying, or that I'm not getting my point across the right way. So I'll just keep going and going until I'm getting some idea that they understand what I'm talking about. And it
Yeah,
is, yeah, it's like a nervous tick, I guess. So
it is.
yeah,
'Cause sometimes I'll make references to things, and then I won't get like a response, and then I'll like try and keep it going, and it's like, oh
yeah.
girl, you could have just stopped. You could, you
God.
know.
Do you get recognized a lot, in public?
You know what? there's like sometimes where like I do get recognized, and then
Mhm.
I think that there's also like that when I'm out in public or like in like a busy space like the mall or like the gym or something, I feel like there are people who recognize me, but it's like that moment of like, how do they recognize me? More so than like, oh, like that's August, like I know her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of people who are too shy to come up and initiate that
Okay.
because I'm not who they think I am. Like let's say like
Mhm.
I was just like a normal girl who looked similar to me. I feel like they would be embarrassed and offended, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
then,
yeah.
you know, I have been out to the gym and I had my headphones on, and this guy, I still don't know who this man was, but he was like, it came from like the farthest part of the gym, and at the top of his lungs, he just yelled August Sky.
Holy jeez.
You know?
Oh. Oh, I would be so angry.
I just didn't. I like looked around like everybody else, like shocked. I'm like, who's August Sky? Who is that? Not like my phone has my sticker on the back of it, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, what a weird that's such a weird thing to do. Actually, you know what? Approaching people at a gym is just weird. And
Yeah.
whether it's, you're seeing someone who's a porn star or just seeing somebody you think super hot. Like I've always thought like seeing dudes approach like chicks at a gym. I'm like, that
Mm-mm.
this is not the place. Like, leave
No.
people the hell alone. Like,
That's like the one place like you just don't hit on anybody. Like
yeah.
I am probably working out on an empty stomach. I am on like my like pre-workout caffeine, just like
Yeah.
going in on it, right? Listening to like Britney Spears, like please just let me be in my moment. Just like working out all my
Yeah.
problems. Like
Wow.
this is not the place. This
Yeah.
is not the time.
Yeah, maybe like a free clinic, I think would be about the other worst place. That's not a place you wanna hit on someone.
Outside of Planned Parenthood, I'm
Yeah, well, actually, I mean you're kinda in the clear if you
well, we know that you're good. Uh,
yeah,
so
it's like so clearly this is this
this
won't be
is
your
just
first time.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
New beginnings.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a time and a place for sure, but, I
Yeah.
just usually stick to the old Walmart, Walmart's a good one. You're not usually meeting, like, I don't wanna say you're not meeting high caliber people, but as a low caliber person, I tend to gravitate towards other low caliber people.
Bro,
So, like,
I'm at Walmart. I go, you
uh
know what? I enjoy browsing Walmart. It's like it's fun.
see, okay, so the miscon or the, perception is that, like, Target is where the classier ladies are at, like
I
the
go to
cougars, the
Target
mills.
too.
Okay, so you seem more like, to be honest, you seem more like a Target gal.
I
Um,
no, here's the thing. I in LA, they have more Targets than Walmarts, but don't get this wrong. There are some nice Walmarts out there that will outdo Target.
no, I'm with you. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go, really. Walmart is better than Target. Target is kind of a shithole. They just kind of dump everything out
Yeah.
everywhere, like, it's horrible.
I
But
feel weird getting my groceries there. Like I'm like this. I mean, like
yes.
buying clothes and like little oddities. I'm like, okay, like that makes sense. Candles, home goods, all that fun stuff. But
Yeah.
getting groceries there doesn't seem right for
It
some
is
reason.
no, I have never in my life bought anything edible from Target.
It doesn't seem.
Never.
It feels like a setup, right?
Yeah, it feels like it just shouldn't be there. Like, you're like, "Oh, y'all sell, like, frozen pizzas and shit? Like, why are
Yeah,
y'all doing
no.
this?"
Walmart,
Yeah.
you're not questioning it. I don't care if this has been on the shelf since '96, bro. I'm gonna buy that fucking pizza.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You know?
no, Walmart is perfectly acceptable to buy a new set of tires and mac and cheese
I
at the
remember
same place.
when I was like in college and I left my parents' house and I didn't have my dad there to
Mhm.
help me do oil changes and tire changes, I went to the old Walmart because I didn't
Yeah.
know
Look,
better.
I will tell you something right now. I still go to Walmart to get all that done. I am useless when it comes to anything like that. I don't know how to change my oil, any of that stuff. I
You
mean,
know what? I do. I do know how to change the oil and I do know how to change a tire, but like it's the idea of like I'm not equipped for that. I'd much rather just go and do it.
yeah.
Do
Yeah,
the
I'd much rather someone do something for me in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. Like, maybe I'm a little high maintenance, which I I might be more high maintenance than I think I am.
Are you giving us Target vibes? You're not giving me
Well,
you're giving me Target vibes.
see, now I'm starting to realize that maybe I am masquerading as a Walmart gal, but
You
deep
know what?
down, I'm a Target woman at heart.
You're a Target baddie at heart.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is like the mecca for like cougars in your area. Target, for whatever reason. Now Walmart, same, but it's more like you'll see a lot more C-section scars,
You
which not good or bad.
lying.
I mean,
You're not lying about it. Like you have more of a chance with that. The woman at
yeah,
Target, like she's well taken care of. There's a
yeah,
reason
she's in
she's
a
at Target.
yeah, she's
Well,
in a Porsche. I mean, what am I?
yeah,
What am I
well,
gonna walk up to and say like, oh, hey, check out my podcast? Like, no, I can go to Walmart, and the fact that I have all 32 teeth
oh,
is already getting me in a foot in the door.
they're happy that you even had a way to get to Walmart, you know?
Exact. Oh yeah, the fact that I didn't have to take a city bus to get here.
You're winning 100%. A
Yeah.
thousand percent,
Oh, I
bro.
may as well be Jeff Bezos walking into a Walmart.
And
God. I will
you're
say one of
that.
the best things about Walmart, which I guess
Mhm.
is anywhere, that I used to do a lot is just go to like DVD bins and just buy, which I still love like walking by that. I mean, I don't own anything that
Yeah.
can play a DVD, but seeing that you can buy like 5 movies for $2 now, it
Dude, that was my favorite too.
it makes me so mad now that that's how it is, because it used to be, like decently expensive. And I'm like, God, like in today's world, I could buy like 4 Martin Scorsese 4 pack, or a Martin, actually more like a Martin Lawrence 4 pack for like $2. And I was like, this did not exist when I was a kid.
This didn't
Like Blue
exist,
Streak
right?
was $20. Like,
Dude,
yeah,
like 5 years ago, even 5 years ago, it was probably like $29 to get like your favorite DVD, right?
yeah,
I do the same thing too. Like the one thing that was like my favorite pastime was like going to Walmart, going to like the DVD and the gaming section. And then for some reason I would always just go and like look at flat screen TVs.
yes.
Do
Oh
you
my
know what
God.
I mean? Like they just always like had stuff to just like their entertainment section was fire. But when it used to be
Yeah.
even more fire when I was like younger, because remember they used to like let you play the game, like
Oh,
test
I,
out the games there. Like
yes.
you never lost your kids. My parents never had to be worried about where
No.
we were. They knew where to find us.
No, they would just like follow the trail of pedos that are lining up watching my chubby ass playing video games.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they're like,
you
oh,
got
look
it,
at that
kid.
one. Look at
Yeah.
that. You know?
Oh, I was so gullible too. If I was easier to pick up, like physically pick up, I would have been. You'd never seen me again. I'd have been gone
I
by
think
8
that
years
was
old.
me. I was small, but I think that my parents told me that I was overtly friendly. They told me that I used to just talk to random people. Like if you talk to me, I was gonna talk back. And I think that's why they were so
They were caught off guard. They thought it was a sting. Like,
Oh yeah. They did. They did. It's like
yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't get snatched up. I remember like every time I did, my mom's like, "Those people are gonna snatch you up. You better stop talking to
Oh
them."
yeah. Oh, I would. I mean, I had typical childhood like anger. I listened to a lot of Eminem, if that means anything. A lot of Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit.
Oh
So
yeah,
there'd
that
be times where I'd be like hoping that somebody'd pick my ass up at a Walmart, like
you're
take
like,
me.
no one wants to pick me up because I'm too fat.
Which is crazy because like I had a pretty good body on me back then. Like I mean, I
Yeah.
was I was big, but like I
You're just
had
a big boy, just
oh
big
I
boy.
had yeah. Oh, I had an ass on me like a damn dump truck. Still
Oh,
do. But like so you would think I'd be like prime pickup material. Because most like 10-year-olds have like refugee bodies. Like I think a full-on snack for some of these guys. And they never gave me the time of day. So
oh no, they knew you came from a good household. They know you have food. You're like, nah, that one ain't struggling. But that 10-year-old who looks like they haven't eaten in 3 days, that's the one that we want.
I smelled like Hamburger Helper. I
Did you?
had
Oh
I
yeah.
had so much food going on. Oh boy, man.
Oh.
Oh my
Hamburger
god.
helper night used to be the most lit night, and then and then you throw some green beans in there, and you try to make like a little
Ew.
thing. Yeah, I put green beans in mine. Only
I put
my parents would make like hamburger helper, right?
mhm,
Like when it was like summertime for us, like, I'm the youngest out of three. So like, we pretty much spend all day by ourselves. And when they got home from work at night, they were too tired. So it was like, there was like a hamburger helper night. It was like
yeah,
Friday night when they were just done for the week. And then like they'd always have to make like vegetables. So it'd be like hamburger helper, and then they'd make like green beans or like salad or something to just balance it out and make it
yeah.
seem like it wasn't all sodium. So then I would just put it all into my into my hamburger helper.
That's amazing. I used to eat mine with slices of white bread. How
You
about
know
that?
what?
No
That
wonder.
sounds about right. French bread, all that shit. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Dip it with the sauce in there. My
Oh
parents used to spoil
man.
me and be like, "Oh, which flavor? Pick out which flavor hamburger helper you want."
Did you ever get the Swedish meatball or like the beef stroganoff? That was always a good
Yeah,
one. Beef
that was
stroganoff always made you feel kind of classy. Like you had like your pinky out on your fork when you ate
Oh, what did
that.
you guys have for dinner last night? We had the beef stroganoff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like with like you're sniffing wine while you're eating.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's aromatic.
Yeah. Yeah. The stroganoff has legs. Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That white creamy sauce.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Don't get me started. Hey, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
don't think
right.
I've had a hamburger helper in a long time.
Oh,
I think all the shit that we ate growing up, they changed all the recipes to it.
yes. Oh my God. When's the last time you had Hawaiian punch? Or have
Okay,
you ever had it?
I haven't had it in so long because I feel like the last time I had it, it tasted horrible. And same thing for Tang.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They switched
Yes.
both of them up, right?
I don't know. I don't know for sure, which I should look into this because I have nothing else to do. But I no, I hadn't had it a Hawaiian punch since I was a little kid, and then got it. I saw it at a gas station. I was like, "Holy shit, this still exists!" So
Yeah.
got some and tried it. I took like one pretty good chug out of it, threw it away. It's like that is an imposter. That is not the Hawaiian punch that I remember.
Do you think that okay, so people have been having this thing because I was like, even all the snacks that we grew up on, hamburger helper, the what is the other things that we ate? Because I don't know about you, but I know I feel like I don't know if you're a millennial, but I feel like our parents just like
Yeah,
left us
I'm
at home.
30, so
Yeah, same. So I feel like they
yeah,
just like left us at home, right? So it's like they always had
yeah,
like those snacks that you could just pop in the microwave. Those
yes.
like 25-cent burritos that came in different colored
The
packs.
the El Monterey's, yeah,
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 I
yeah,
feel like they changed the recipe
yeah.
because I'll go back and I'll pick something up and I'm like, oh man, there's nothing that I would crave more than this and like having like my childhood nostalgia. Go and pick it up, but I'm
Mhm.
like, bro, this ain't the same. I'll like ask my
No,
friends, they're like, no, same thing. Like I'll go back and like it's not the same thing.
no, it's not. It's not the same thing, which I've been told, that it's, "Oh, your taste buds have just changed," which
That's what I was gonna say.
may
Your
be
taste buds
true,
nah.
but it's not okay, so it's every single person's taste buds miraculously changed
Yeah,
to now hate this thing? I don't think so. Like,
I
I
don't think so either.
no, 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 no. It's different. They fucked it up somehow, and they just don't
Well,
wanna admit it.
you know what I think it is? Is like everyone's like trying to make it healthy or whatever. And it's like, nah, dude, we were in there for the sugar and for the problems. People are like, oh, why do millennials
Yeah.
look so young? Maybe because whatever the fuck was in bologna sandwiches is what's preserving this. Okay.
Oh. Oh, I have ate so much fucking preservatives. My 400 years from now, they're gonna dig my ass up, and it'll just be my digestive system
Oh,
alive.
yeah.
The rest of me would probably be gone. But like my stomach is basically 90% plastic now. Like
Th-
it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, other than that and these titties, everything else will be degraded, but I will be like, that's preserved. And I'm because people are like, oh,
God.
dude, like, you must get like so much work done. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing going on here. It was the bologna and the hot
Yeah.
pockets and whatever was in oatmeal cream pies. Because I ate a lot of
No telling. I mean, I think I had Agent Orange in that shit, like napalm or something. Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Oatmeal cream pies are a good one.
Surge.
Wait,
What the fuck was Surge?
or Vault. Do you remember Vault? That was a
Oh,
soda that was, yeah, like kind of like Mountain Dew-ish.
yeah.
Holy hell. Yeah, or Jolt Cola. Like I caught like the tail end of Jolt Cola. I may as well have been freebasing crack cocaine, drinking
We
Jolt
were.
Cola.
We
Pretty
were.
much. Pretty much. Maybe even worse because at least crack doesn't have sugar in it.
Did
Like
you
this.
ever do this thing in school where you would make Happy Crack, where it was Kool-Aid powder and like a bag of sugar, and you would shake it up like a pixie stick, and you take it to school, and your friends would fucking
No,
remix it?
no, I didn't.
Dude, in the suburbs, that's I don't know what the fuck was going on. Maybe that's why we were like practicing our cocaine habit or something. But like, dude, we
This-
did Happy Crack, and it was like the thing. And my parents, like, it was like we had to sneak it from our parents' bag because like there'd be nothing more pissed off than you're taking a fucking Kool-Aid packet and 3 cups of sugar and putting it in a bag. Like no one wants to see their kid do that. But we used to do that as kids.
That's
And they used to call it
amazing.
Happy Crack. Who started it? I don't know.
Well, whoever it is, they're not alive anymore. That's for sure. No, we used to do a thing, which I'm sure other kids, found out about it as well. But you remember Smarties? They were in like a little
Mhm.
plastic bag. So you would just crunch them up for like an hour, just start crushing them until you got into that little powder. You'd unravel it and smoke it, and then blow out the powder so it looked like you were smoking. And I will be honest, most of the people that I remember doing this at lunch in third grade are now meth addicts. I don't know if there's a connection, but it sure seems to be that way.
You were basically doing the Happy Crack thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah,
with
yeah. Oh yeah, we were
that's like a work,
freebasing
bro. That's
Smarties.
work.
Yeah, well, meth addicts do a lot of work. I mean, you know how much work it is to strip copper wire out of an air conditioning unit? Like
Oh,
those
dude.
are they're the most ingenious people on the planet, really.
They're some of the hardest working people I know,
That's
you
my
know?
America.
Yeah, just give them that they'll do anything for a little taste, right?
Oh
Dude,
my
you need a new
god.
car, they got you one at 4:15 in the morning. You're like, "Dude, where the fuck did you get this?" "I don't know." "Oh, just give me
Yeah.
$30 for this car and I'll take it."
God, that's amazing. Do people think you've had a lot of work done other than like breast implants? Because you said that, and I was like, I can't imagine that you've had anything else done.
Yeah, no, a lot of people, like a lot of the younger girls that I work with, they say, "Oh, like who does your filler? Who does your Botox? Who does this?"
Yeah.
It's like, and the one thing I got a lot in recent times is like, "Oh, like, do you have like not a BBL, but like
Right.
injections?" And I was like, "Nah, dude, no, I don't." I was like, I get like a
Yeah.
little bit of Botox, but that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
I like my face. It took me a long time to like, get that self-love. So once you get
Yeah.
it, fucking embrace it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. You don't have you don't have a manufactured look, you know? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's why I was kind of curious. Like, the people would say that, I'm like, you don't look like you've had shit
Have
done.
that
No.
face that everyone has now, which
Yeah,
I
the
find to
Smokey
be a little
Robinson or the
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That motherfucker did that 4th of July thing the other day.
Oh,
Holy hell. I mean, what are
oh,
you doing? Poor
it's what he
fella.
didn't do. And it was, I don't know what he didn't do, but like my
Yeah.
mom used to tell me that all the time. It's not about what you did, it's about what you didn't do. And
Yeah. No, there's some people that you just like, Dolly Parton did, like some halftime show, I think last season. I remember thinking, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I know people will kill you if you try to shit on Dolly Parton, but there is no motherfucker on the planet that saw her and was like, oh, she looks great for her age,
you
which,
know, do you know what I think it is? It's like I think that she likes that look.
yeah, yeah.
I think she likes that. And honestly, I don't think there's people who say like she looks good for her age, but I think that there's people out there that are just like nasty enough that are like, I kind of want to see what that's about.
Oh, I would for sure. Don't
You know
don't
what
get
I
me wrong.
mean?
Oh,
Like
I
you're
would give my life savings for a night with Dolly Parton.
oh yeah.
Like today. I mean, really just for the story, but
I just want
yeah,
to see her tits. Like, I want to
I
see what
do
they
too.
look like. I
So
just want
bad.
to see what they like. How do they? Are they like the ones that just don't move? Like, what is going on
It
down
has to
there,
be.
Holly?
Has to be. It has to be just like the globes that have, that are just mounted. Like those things are welded onto her her
Oh yeah.
sternum.
And
Yeah.
if you bust her down, like there's not much you can do. You gotta you gotta like you can't hit it because she might be gone. But like you gotta just lay her down and like
Yeah, you definitely have to sign a contract beforehand, like a liability clause. Like, look, especially me. I mean, well, one, I
Your
mean, I've,
insurance company has to take a look before this goes
oh
down.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm calling my Geico agent. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
listen, bud.
Oh yeah.
I may or may not be inside of Dolly Parton within the next hour. What do I need to do? Like,
What do I need to know? What does my policy cover? Let's talk about
yeah,
before I start stroking. Let
yeah.
me know now.
Does my policy cover accidental death by missionary? Because
Oh,
that is a
dude.
distinct possibility with my big ass getting on her.
Dude, I
Yeah,
don't know. She might give you a run for your money though. I feel like when someone takes care of takes that much care of themselves, when they're that invested in that look and that
yeah.
lifestyle, she might give you a run for your fucking. That might be the best like 6 minutes of your life.
6 minutes, be 2.5 at the most. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, 2.5 twice.
Yeah,
I'm
do
good for that. Yeah,
that.
2.5, a 30-minute break, and then
Gotta get
another two
that
and a half.
nervous bust out. You gotta get that first nut out, and then you gotta get
Yeah.
that then you gotta go back in.
Yep, yep. Yeah, it'll be a 2 minute, then a 4 minute. So we're still averaging six. Yeah,
So
we're
I
still doing
said,
a 6 minute session. But
and then she'll make you
yeah,
like some like fucking pie afterwards and
oh
sing you
my
a
god,
song.
Patty LaBelle makes the most amazing pies on the planet that they sell at Walmart, and
I've
she's
had that.
also in so fucking beautiful to me, Patty LaBelle. So
Yeah.
like that would be like if I had I don't know, like leukemia or rickets or something, like if I was a make a wish kid, I think that's my wish is to have sex with Patty LaBelle and eat a sweet potato pie.
Dude, sweet potato. I don't know why that sounds so dirty. You're gonna fuck Patty LaBelle and eat her sweet potato pie.
Oh my god. In more ways than one. Yeah.
Well, you know her and Dolly Parton are besties.
Well,
Get that
give me
there's your
two
dying wish.
give me 2 sets of leukemia and I'll get both wishes done. Yeah. God. Have a sweet potato pie and a peach cobbler. And I'm
Oh
ready
yeah.
to roll.
You're
Go
down.
ahead. Go ahead and lay me in the casket. It's done. Oh my god. Who's a celebrity that's like for you that most people probably wouldn't think is like super attractive? I mean, the kids call it like the hear me out thing of like, like, hey,
Hear
hear me out. This person did something for me, like either growing up or now. Like, do you have anybody like that? Like Steve Buscemi or something?
Oh man, not my boy. His teeth stay crip walking. Um
His teeth are having a riot, like in his
Oh
mouth.
yeah, dude. They've been fighting in there for a minute. They've been fighting for their life for a minute.
His
Um,
teeth, he looks like his teeth are scaring his eyes.
oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. They're trying to
yeah.
send out they're like, save us. The eyes are like, save us from the teeth. They're out here fucking we're in the
Yeah.
ghetto, you
Oh,
know?
poor
Dude,
Steve.
yeah. Yeah.
Did
What
you
are
have
they?
anybody like a Nick Nolte, maybe?
No, I'm trying to think about who did I like? Okay, so I have been crushing on someone new now, and I don't know why, but the who is it? Richard Gadd from Baby Reindeer. Did you
Oh,
watch
okay,
that
okay.
one?
I've seen a little bit. I couldn't really get into it.
I got that was probably like the like I don't really like to watch too many series because like they're just all kind of redundant. But this one I like
Yes.
gravitated towards and it was really good and there was a lot of things that I definitely could relate to. But there's something about his character where you're just like, mm.
Mhm.
But now that I think about it, when I was growing up, and my dad told me this was Steve from Blue's Clues. Dude, my dad was like, bro, I would put you in front of the television because he was like, I don't know what it was. I feel like that was like your first crush. But he was like, I would put you in front of that television and you would not look away. He was like, I could be gone for like 3 hours and you would come back and you would just be
God,
looking at Steve from Blue's Clues. So I guess that was my initial first crush. And then I seen him in recent times. I was like, bro, I'd still
let me
be.
tell you something. If Steve from Blue's Clues, by some miracle, is watching this right now, he just lifted his face up from a pile of cocaine and was like, "My life is made." Like that dude, you just made that guy's day. I'm sure.
Dude, he is there's I've always wanted to do this. Is like a really taboo fucking thing I wanted to do. I was like, if there is a guy who put on the Steve like green striped shirt and I dress up, I'll be blue and then we can do some nasty shit. That would make all and then I can invite my girlfriend over who'd be magenta and we would just make that happen.
let me tell you something. I'm your man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I might be a little camera shy, but but we would get that handy dandy notebook out
Yo,
and start
honestly, get
scribbling.
the handy dandy notebook.
Oh
It would,
yeah.
if anyone just like I don't care who it was. Anybody who just knew that that was like my thing, and like you just popped up with that green shirt on, I would just automatically it'd be freak mode. I don't know what I would do, but it'd be nasty.
Well, I wish I would have had that information about 31 minutes ago. 'Cause I would have had an sweater sent to me express.
But yeah,
Oh
dude, that Steve, if you're watching or you whoever wants to do that, get your handy dandy notebook out, baby, because it's getting
God,
freaky. Take notes about how freaky it was.
that's a good one. That's a good one. I always just had a thing for like TV moms. That was always like Miss Huxtable. I always thought was super hot.
Yeah.
I always thought she's not a mom, but like uh Fran Drescher and The
Oh,
Nanny.
love Fran Drescher.
Like it was
That's
always like those like sitcom, but not like younger, like not like the chick. So like I would watch Fresh Prince, and I mean I always thought Hillary was super hot, but I
yeah.
always thought the original Aunt Viv
And
was
Viv was her.
so
Yeah,
hot.
yeah, she
Yeah.
was until they replaced her for whatever reason.
Well, for a reason for sure.
Yeah.
Will Smith's a fucking psycho, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah, like I always like sitcom moms always did it. Or like George Lopez's wife on like the George Lopez show. Like there, I mean, there's a million of them where
Oh,
yeah,
so
we're
you
just
like the milfy? You like the milfy? I can
yeah.
see. It makes sense though. I can see that. I can
Oh,
definitely see
that
that. Who
is
was?
my bread and butter for
Did
sure.
you like Al Bundy's wife?
Oh my, that's who I was trying to. I could not remember it. Yeah, that's peak. That's number one.
Yeah, and
Is
she just
Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal with the it was like
Yeah.
the over the top hair, the really tight, always tight outfits on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times as a very young fella I had like three-way fantasies about her and Christina Applegate.
Oh,
God, like
oh,
the
okay.
daughter. Yeah. Like just getting both at the same time.
That's a hot fantasy.
Oh
That's a good one.
God.
That's a good one. I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see that happening. I'm trying to think if I had any other like crushes that were just kind of like obscure. No, not really. Not
Yeah.
really.
I did there. Yeah, I don't know if I had it because I feel like all the ones I've named are still like very attractive
Oh yeah, they
people.
look
Like they're not
very
like,
good.
yeah, I don't know if I have any that are like weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like when you're just like, oh, like that's like not gross, but you're like, oh, like I don't understand that.
yeah, because someone told me, I asked someone this like a while back, and she said Woody Harrelson, and I was like, that's a good example because that's a like if he was not a famous actor, you would not be like looking at Woody Harrelson and thinking he was attractive.
It makes sense though because it's that he got this like he got like this like swag about him.
Yeah,
And I feel
well,
like if he
that's
wasn't famous, it's not even like it's like this aura that he portrayed like he has, right? And I feel like even if he wasn't famous, he'd be he'd be a homosexual that people would let in their house. You know what I mean? He'd like girls would be
hobo.
like, yeah, he's a homosexual, but like, girl, like I don't know what it is. I can't get rid of him. Like you're mad that he's there, but at the same time, like he
Yeah,
knows everybody. He's connected. You know, you just like
hobo,
you have everything else
hobosexual.
but a job,
Yeah,
and you just end
yeah,
up there. He's like somehow charming. You know,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
that's what it would be. He's like he's there. You'd get there's like some sort of rose colored glasses there that you just like once you take them off you're like finally out of it, but like you always want to get back, you want a little taste again.
yes.
He calls you and he's like, hey, it's me. He's like, hey girl, and you're just like, damn it, I'm back in it.
Okay, so I actually do have a little bit of version. It's not a real person's movie character, but it's kind of like that. So I've always had also a thing for not just MILFs, but like women that just seem real like there's just something wrong, like
Yeah.
mentally. Um so Marla Singer, Fight Club, Helena Bonham Carter's character.
Hmm.
You've seen Fight Club, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
course.
So I always thought she was so attractive in that movie. Just the like sort of drug addict look. Like
Yeah.
there's something about that like old like the 90s like heroin look.
The heroin chic. Yeah.
Heroin chic. That heroin chic look is so attractive. Now, not the people who are like like the actual models that were like forced starving themselves, like none of that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. But people who just naturally have that look, like Kate
Yeah.
Moss and people like that, like were always. But yeah, Marla Singer from Fight Club was like a
Mhm.
one where I was like, holy shit, like that person is so fucking attractive.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it just
a good
looks
one.
like nasty, but like in a good and bad way,
A good
really.
and bad way. Like you're like, oh man, not this bitch again. But like it's like like same thing. Like that's like the phone call that like you hate getting, but you love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, dude, like why do you keep bringing? She's back again, bro. We thought like you got rid of her. And it's like I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I also had a huge thing for Courtney Love, which I think has a lot. There's a lot in common with that.
That like heroin chic thing.
Oh
You
yeah, Courtney
know?
Love's real heroin chic.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Now she like fucked her face up. She did some weird
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
It's
Courtney
very.
Love went the Madonna route, which
Oh
oof,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I I guess like a movie character that I did like a lot was Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. There's like something about her that like
Oh
I would just let her do whatever. I don't care what it was. Wrap your legs around me. I don't
yeah.
care.
Oh,
That
have you seen True Romance
I have
with
seen True
Christian Slater?
Romance.
So like Patricia Arquette in True Romance
Mhm.
also has like not the heroin look, but the just like the prostitute look, which I think she
Yeah.
is a prostitute in the movie. But yeah, like there's something about that where it's just like this is not a I don't know. Like I like crazy people. Like
Did you
that's
see
my thing.
the newest Batman movie with what's
Oh
the guy?
my god, with Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
So
Love that. But the girl, I always want to call her Zendaya, but it's not.
no,
It's
Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
yeah, Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Oh
Did
my
you
god.
like the prostitute look and like the like
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
everyone liked that.
That's yeah, so that is peak of what I'm talking about there with that just like yeah, like wearing like a wife beater and like having just like I don't know, there's something about that shit that is just super attractive to me. Like
Yeah.
I've never thought that like Sandra Bullock was hot.
You know, I
Like,
had this conversation with my actually like with my ex and
mhm.
the one thing that we had in common is that both of our dads thought that Sandra Bullock was like hot.
Every dad does. Every dad in this country thinks Sandra Bullock is super hot.
I didn't get it. I was like, bro, I was like, that's like the most like mundane. I mean, she's cute, you know,
Yeah.
like she was cute, even like in her prime, like she was cute, but I've never understood that. I was like, I don't see the appeal.
She's the like Anne Hathaway prequel.
Oh yeah, dude. There's something about Anne Hathaway that I feel like I would just want to fight her on sight. You know,
Yeah.
she's like the girl that you just want to punch in the face. She just has that
Yeah.
face where you're like you've never been punched and it shows.
Yeah. And that's amazing. Yeah, Anne Hathaway, Natalie Portman, Sandra Bullock, like they all have just this like I don't know what it is. It's too like it's like girl next door, but like not in a fun way. Like
No, like
like
she's
Kirsten Dunst has like the girl next door thing, but Kirsten Dunst is pretty hot.
yeah, she has like that fun, like you're like, oh yeah, like I want you to live next door to me, like
Yeah.
she's
Like
coming
Jennifer
over
Love
here,
Hewitt.
but yeah, oh yeah, everybody wants Jennifer Love Hewitt to be. You see those tits, you're just like, yeah, that's
Jeez
fine.
Louise.
You
Oh
know,
my god. Oh yeah, I remember watching I Know What You Did Last Summer and just being like, holy fuck, I don't know
that's
where
one of
these
the
types of women exist, but it ain't here. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that one,
Yeah.
and then of course like the iconic Miss Parker from Friday, like that's what I'm trying to be. Like that's it. Like that's I
Oh,
want to dead plants.
you're on your way. Yeah.
You know.
She's
Hey.
still super hot. The
Oh,
woman that played her, she's like 70 something, still super hot. Like Pam Grier. Pam
I
Grier is
was
another
literally
person
just
who's
about to say that, just like Pam. I'm like, dude, what was going on? Because Pam Grier looks fun. I was like, if I could cosplay Pam Grier in like a film, like I definitely would do that.
do it.
You
Why
know?
couldn't you? Yeah. You can make your own, you could be whatever the fuck you want to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see you doing that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one for sure. Like, what was it? Foxy Brown? Wasn't that the she was in
yeah,
like those movies? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Pam Grier is super hot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the blaxploitation era of movies, the 70s,
yeah.
just like
Coffee Brown, I think, was another one that she was
yeah,
in. Coffee Brown. Yeah,
Coffee
yeah.
Brown and the God, what was like a I can't think of. I'm so bad sometimes, like on the spot. But yeah,
No,
she's
you're
done a
good.
lot. She's done a lot.
Well, Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown's such a good movie with
Yeah,
her.
and they
The
just
Quentin
remade it.
Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Wait, they
Did they
did what?
remake it?
No, no, no. I don't think Quentin Tarantino's ever remade any of his movies.
No, I thought like someone tried to do a different version of Jackie Brown or something like
It
that.
might, yeah, maybe so, but it wouldn't. I
Like
don't
a
think it would be
rooftop
like
version.
direct. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the first movie you remember seeing in theaters as a kid?
Uh the Rugrats movie.
The first one or like the Paris one?
The first one.
The one with Busta Rhymes? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know oh Busta Rhymes was in that.
He's the Reptar, the dinosaur that they're all
I
trying to
guess
get.
I haven't seen that movie in so
Yeah.
long that I didn't know that. Yeah, that was my
It's
first
Busta
one.
Rhymes. Yeah.
I'll never forget it because I saw it in theater. So I was born in Memphis and I was raised in Colorado. So I spent
Okay.
a good chunk in Memphis. But like I remember it was like summer in Memphis, summer break. And then I remember like my mom took us to go to like a movie matinee. And my mom always like I feel like falls asleep in movie theaters. Something about it. We were like, we got all of our snacks. I did like all the promo snacks. Remember they used to do like promos for like the movies?
Oh, yeah.
So you got your snacks for those promos. So I got the
Mhm.
snacks. And then I remember my mom fell asleep, but then we were inspired by the Rugrats to just like crawl and like leave the theater. So we left the theater and went to like
amazing.
another theater and then came back before like the movie was
Yeah.
over. But yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Mine was a Star Wars Phantom Menace. That's the first one I
Okay.
remember seeing. And
Yeah.
Spy Kids 3D.
That was
big
the
chunk
first
of
movie
shit.
I went to go see by myself with my friends was Spy Kids 3D.
I think I still have a migraine from the
From
3D. I remember walking out of there and being like, this can't be right. This is not the same vision I had before I watched this movie.
Nothing that I feel like we were just like test subjects being raised at that time. All the shit that like everything 3D movies. Like remember how they had like all those different like Pepsi Crystal or like all those just like all
Blue,
those
Pepsi
weird things.
Blue. That was a
Pepsi
wild
Blue,
one. Yeah.
cell
Sprite
phones.
remix. Yeah.
Dude, all that shit, it was just we were just test subjects where like, well, if it doesn't work on them, then whatever. But I think we're gonna be the generation that's gonna be like, have you or your loved one suffered from? And it's just sort of like all this shit just rolling up.
Did you or your loved one ever see one of these movies in theaters? I mean, like Spy Kids 3D, go all the way down right before you get to Avatar. You're like, that's when you're safe.
That's what you're saying. No, you're gonna like see you and all of like everyone you know. We're all gonna be well preserved. There we are with our fucking happy crack and crushed up Smarties meth.
Oh my God, but blind as a bat. We're all gonna be blind, but look fucking amazing.
Look like we're all 15 years old again permanently.
Jesus.
Like, oh.
If you had to guess, what year do you think 3D movies started?
I would say 2004 or 6.
Hold on a second.
Bro, I thought you just knew this.
No. I know the decade. I thought that I knew it, but I'm now kind of worried that I'm gonna fuck it up and say the wrong thing. Yeah, 1953.
1953 is when the first 3D movie came out.
I was gonna say 55, and then that did not sound right. But yeah, 1953 is whenever it became like a nationally like shown thing. I never would have thought that.
Then your eyesight probably was fucked up because why'd you guys wait so long for it to like be released to the general public?
Yeah. Well, that was through the general public because like Jaws. So like there's Jaws 3 is Jaws 3D. And that movie came out in like the 80s. And then there's like Friday the 13th 3 is Friday the 13th 3D. Because like my parents said that they went to see that like in 3D. So yeah, the like 3D movies have been a thing for
you like just blew my fucking mind.
Oh yeah.
No idea.
Oh, when you have a chance, watch Friday the 13th 3 and now know that that it was meant to be, that it was in 3D. And there's so many scenes where you're like, oh, that's why this looks so stupid.
Yeah, because like when you take I'm sure we've all done the thing where we take our glasses off during like a 3D movie and you see like the
blue and yeah. Well, there's just so many shots where like an arrow is coming at the screen like that, like which in a normal movie, why the fuck would you do that? It's like slow motion, but if you're in 3D, you're seeing it coming at you, which if you're a kid in the 80s, just coked out of your mind. It would have been
Oh, yeah, that's
amazing.
when the Coke was pure.
Oh
Before you didn't have
God.
to worry about fentanyl and all the crazy shit that we
Yeah.
have to deal with now, you know?
I've never done coke ever. Uh but I do think that if I grew up then I would. I think I
Hell
would have done
yeah,
it.
dude. I feel
Yeah.
like they made Coke look like it was like the greatest thing you could possibly do,
Yeah.
dude.
You know what I would love to do is to go back in time and try a Quaalude.
Oh, yeah.
My God. Like Coke,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Coke was something I'd enjoy because I'm not a hyperactive person. Like I'm basically like a turtle without a shell. Um and I think Quaaludes are just like that was made for me.
What do Quaaludes do?
From what it seems like, it's basically like being hammered drunk. Like if you could drink one shot that had 20 shots in it.
Oh, Lord.
Like, that's what it seems like. Like, whenever I've seen, like, the people, like, on Quaaludes, like, in videos or in movies when they're showing them, it's just this, like, euphoric, just, like, sunk down feeling, which, to me is that's heaven.
That's like your thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So I think mine, like, right now is, like, I love mushrooms. So
Really?
then I like microdose, I microdose on mushrooms,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, so then I was introduced to this last summer was, Molly mushroom chocolates.
Jesus Christ. No, thank you.
It was honestly no, it was, like, the most just, like, relaxing and well aware I think I've ever been.
No way.
Oh,
Would
yes,
never
dude.
do it.
I did
No.
it, and it was great. It was honestly 30 out of 10.
It's amazing how drugs affect people differently. Because I mean, I've never done Molly, but I've done mushrooms once, and it was, uh probably one of the worst days of my life. I don't handle shit well at all. I
I
can't
can
smoke
tell
weed. Like,
I feel that. I don't really like
yeah.
to smoke much anymore. I don't really smoke, but you know what I found with like mushrooms? Like the first time I did mushrooms, probably about like 2 years ago. And like I did like a whole thing to where like I cleaned my whole house. I like burned incense and I like played like lo-fi beats, and then I just had like a great time. Right.
Yeah.
And then like I've had like I guess like with mushroom like things like that you have it depends on what headspace you're in. But
Yeah.
now I microdose and I'll do like a hot tea and it helps with like my anxiety because I have a lot of anxiety. It helps with
Yeah.
just like a lot of like my mental health stuff. And like it feels good.
I mean, I wish that it did that for me. Like, I have so much fucking anxiety. Just
Oh,
anxiety, like Chicken Little. Like, that's kind of
yeah.
how I feel sometimes. Um, that's the first time I've ever described myself as Chicken Little, which I can't believe it only took 30 years. Uh, but like, I feel like if I did any kind of hallucinogen in any capacity, I'm going right to the nut house.
All right, you're done. That's it.
And
That's it.
I feel like I don't have the firmest grip on reality sometimes.
Well,
So
sometimes it'll help you see reality. But you know what? You're not the only one who said that. My dad said that like way back when he was like in high school or whatever, he said that like also like in the 80s, right? 70s and 80s.
yeah,
He said that like he had friends who like dropped acid once and like never came back out of it.
yep, that's my fear. That
You
is my
know,
fear.
he's like, yeah, dude, like they did it once and then like ever since then, like it just never nothing clicks.
Yeah. No, that is legitimate. That's my nightmare. Legitimately
I
my
think that's my
nightmare.
nightmare too.
Yeah, like I would be so worried that that would happen. But God, movies do make drugs look so good. Even like heroin looks good in movies. Like Pulp
Yeah,
Fiction.
yeah.
Like Pulp Fiction, you watch a woman almost die. Actually, she does die and she comes back to life. And I still, after that scene is over, I'm like, I'd still try it. Like,
Oh yeah, you're like, I'd
yeah,
still try it. Fucking give me a what are those shots? The
adrenaline.
adrenaline shot.
Oh, if John Travolta could stab me in the chest afterwards, I'd do about any drug.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, and then oh yeah, and then
I
she
mean,
also had that heroin chic look in that movie too.
I
Well,
know she looked, yeah,
there's
yeah,
yeah, that like the bad wig, the like blunt bob
yeah,
wig.
yeah.
Where you're just like, God,
I
yeah,
just look like Edna Mode from Incredibles. chick that designs her little costumes. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
talk about the mom. Everyone likes the mom because she's so thick.
Pool. She is.
That's
Yeah.
oatmeal in the water thick. That's the thick.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
girl.
Yeah. Jessica Rabbit would be up there too for going into the
Jessica
cartoon
Rabbit. Oh
world.
yeah, Jessica Rabbit's up there. Lola Bunny.
That let me tell you something. I had a conversation about this. Holy fuck! The other day about how Lion King was just like so traumatic for kids, like especially like people our age, like growing
Yeah,
up watching that, seeing this fucker die, and then like the kid trying to tell him to come home. It's like holy fuck, this is so sad.
yeah,
But it fucked me up more so because I mean, there's like part of me that kind of wants to have sex with a lion.
dude.
And it's because of that movie. It's because they made that lion, the girl, like when they're
Nala.
about to, yeah, no, whenever they are about to get it on to the old Elton John music, like, I mean, God, it's hard not to get a little, half mass going.
You wonder why, like, I was like, wonder, like, how do people become furries? How do people have like all these like little weird things? It's because you were introduced to it like at a young age. It was like a moment in life where you're just
Yeah,
like, I would let that happen. Cause I remember I had a crush on the bad guy, Scar.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
something
yeah.
so just like the whole thing, you're just like, ah man, this is really bringing up some feelings I shouldn't have.
Yes. Oh no, I just imagine that the animators were like like crumbling up paper and like, oh, the line's not fuckable enough, and then throwing it away. Like you got to make the line look like a whore,
Yeah,
like just like crazy saying horrible shit. But it's, I mean, you watch that scene, you're like, this is like who
who wrote
drew
this?
this?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah,
Let me talk you because you're a furry. Whoever wrote that is a furry. You
yeah.
were into some furry shit. Same
Like you
thing
don't,
for Incredibles. She ain't thick enough. Who said
yeah,
that she wasn't thick enough? Who said that we gonna make this girl thick? We gotta get those
yeah,
dads out there to come. Like, dad, take me to go see this movie. And you like watching the preview, like, son, I don't want to go see this movie. Then you see Miss Incredible pop up. You're like,
yeah,
oh goddamn, yeah, let's go
yeah.
get 2 tickets right now. Let's go, son.
Oh my, I know it's so weird. Like movies definitely gave me they definitely are responsible for, I would say, 90% of what I'm into, like sexually. That and MTV, like music videos.
Oh yeah, man.
Like
MTV after
watching,
dark.
oh what God, or watching like like especially growing up like early 2000s, like seeing like Nelly videos, like the Hot in Here video, and like you're watching that and you're like 8 years old and you're like, well, this is definitely what I'm into now.
This is when I like put the pussycat dolls, loosen
Oh
up my
my,
buttons.
yeah. Nicole Scherzinger still like to me.
Top
Uh,
tier, top
yeah.
tier.
Oh, there
Yeah.
was so many, yeah, so many. Like Christina Aguilera to me as a little kid. Like, I mean, Lil Kim will always be my number one. Like that was my number one crush as a kid. Like
And I
music
told
wise.
myself, here's the thing too. And then people say, oh, like, how did you end up being so okay with your sexuality? Baby, we were raised on, when you
Yeah.
all the things that you just like named. It was like, whatever she's doing, I like that. I want to do that.
Yes. Oh
Okay.
my God. Yeah. Watching like the Christina Aguilera dirty video and like Lil Kim videos. Like what was that one? They did the Patti LaBelle song, Lady Marmalade.
Oh,
The
Lady
name of it?
Marmalade. Yeah.
Yeah, like watching that as a kid.
Little Kim.
Maya.
Christina
Oh,
Aguilera,
Maya was so
Maya.
yeah. And like seeing them, you're like, oh yeah, this is like
Oh, we
fuck
were,
being a kid. Like
yeah.
yeah, like I think I watched that video and dropped both of my toys. I was like, I'm done. Yeah.
My first sex scene that I think the thing that like that I saw in movies was the Titanic sex scene.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
never forget because my dad was like trying to do my hair and like the movie was on and then like he made me turn around, but I was still in it. Trust me. I still got
Yeah.
to see enough. I think like he didn't realize it.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
next
yeah.
thing he realized it.
Wait,
Oh,
is it the scene where she's getting drawn or whenever they're in the back of the car?
the back of the car, the whole scene. I watched the whole thing, the scene in the back, but
Yeah.
the scene in the back of the car, and like seeing another person's like naked body, like at that young of an age, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is crazy. And
Yeah.
then, and then to see the scene in the back of the car, you're just like, ah, yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah. I
They'll
don't
make
remember the
Barbies do
first
that later.
I don't remember what the first sex scene I saw was. I remember the first time I saw like, a woman in a movie and being just like, holy fuck. And it was Selma Hayek and From Dusk Till Dawn
Oh,
when she's like dancing with that snake.
And she did the foot. Did she put the? That's the where she put the foot.
Yep, it
Made him
is
take a
the
shot off the foot.
it is the reason why I do not in any way have a foot fetish. Is because as an 8-year-old, I watched Quentin Tarantino's weird fucking face have a foot in it, and oh boy, I think it ruined everything for me because that motherfucker is one of the creepiest people on the planet, and watching him suck on Selma Hayek's foot, just yeah,
I feel like her
ruined me.
face is just like,
Yeah.
she's just
Oh,
doing it for she's doing it for the clout. She's doing it for her
yeah.
check.
Well, and because Quentin Tarantino wrote it into the movie, which how
Right?
about that? How about that? You just write it, I'd like to suck on some of my ex feet for 5 minutes.
There you
And you
go.
can just write that into a movie.
You can't get
Yeah.
mad. He's like, you're getting paid a copious amount of money. But then again, he did it too in Kill Bill, to where he was like, he did like that whole scene with Uma Thurman of like flex your feet and do all this stuff.
Well, he did it in Jackie Brown. The opening of Jackie Brown is Bridget Fonda's feet just like on the edge of a sofa like this. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Dude, he's fulfilling his fantasies and getting paid. Like, dude,
I mean, yeah, he's actually doing it all the right way.
yeah, he's doing everything right.
Yeah, I'd actually probably be doing the same thing. I'd write a movie that had nothing but MILFs and just have it like, MILFs on ice.
Yeah,
And like ice skate. Or MILFs in space, which I'm sure both titles have already been taken. But
no, dude, MILFs in Space has not been taken. Let's go ahead and copyright that. MILFs in Space coming out in 2025.
God. Jesus, that would be amazing.
Just
All right.
all the worst green screen and just MILFs and titties and everything else.
God. Yeah, it's like a dream come true. Oh my God. So I have a few random questions. Are you good on time? I don't want to push you.
Yeah, no, I'm great
Okay.
on time.
Cool. So I have some movie questions, like some random movie questions I want to ask you too. So actually, do you sleep with a TV on or off?
I fall asleep with the TV on.
Okay, right. Do you watch like a certain movie? Like, are there certain things you have to watch to fall asleep, or is it just whatever the fuck you had on?
Most times it's like adult animation. So like Family Guy.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so things like adult animation or any sort of like anything that doesn't really require me to think.
Right.
You know what
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
that's what I was
do.
kind of getting at, is because I do the same thing, but I have like a handful of movies that I've seen so many times that I can just flip them right on. Doesn't matter. I don't have to pay attention to this shit. So I was gonna ask is, what movie do you think you've seen the most?
Oh shit. I've seen Kill Bill quite a bit. I've seen the original Alien quite a bit because that's my favorite movie.
That's your favorite movie? Really?
Yeah, Alien.
That's a good one. That's such a
Alien.
good movie. I love that movie. I don't like the sequel that much, which everybody says the sequel's better than the original for that one. Aliens. That movie sucks ass compared to the original.
Everything else so out of all of them, because they're coming out with a new Alien.
Romulus. Yeah.
Romulus, right?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, Prometheus was fucking great. And then
everyone hated that movie, and it bothers me so much. Prometheus
I don't
is
know why.
so good. I don't know. I've looked up like, why do people hate this movie? Like literally like looked that up to figure out, okay, what's the problem? And no one can give like a real answer as to why they hate this movie. Like
They just don't like it. I thought it was out of all the aliens that came out after Alien. So I researched it because like Aliens, that wasn't great. Then there was like Aliens, Resurrection, all that shit. And then I was like, why do all these movies start to suck? So I started researching because then like I think the original, like they sold the scripts, they sold everything, and then they switched directors like halfway in between. So like it just made for a bad franchise.
Well, the original is Ridley Scott that
Yeah.
made, like Blade Runner and Gladiator, and then it went to, and then Aliens is James Cameron before he
And
did
then-
like after he did Terminator and everything.
And then
And
who
then
was
there's
the one who did the third one? Because I looked it up.
David Fincher.
David Fincher, because I
That
think
made
that
Fight
one was
Club.
in Colorado, wasn't? I think one of them was in Colorado. Because I
Yeah.
looked up, like this is bad. I didn't even get. I was like, this is so bad.
Yeah, that was his first, David Fincher's first, because he had directed music videos like the Madonna Vogue video and shit like that. Then directed that and hated it so much he was like, I don't think I'm ever going to make another movie. And then he ended up making like Seven and Fight Club and a bunch of other.
Oh, okay. So he did.
Oh yeah, it made like
I didn't know
Social
he directed
Network.
Fight Club.
Yeah, he did Fight Club, Seven, Social Network.
Seven was good.
I love
Social
Seven.
Network was good.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He did that, the American version. It's one of my favorite
Oh,
movies.
that was great. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was
So
really
good.
good.
Yeah, with what's her name? Rooney Mara. She was fucking
Rooney Mara.
incredible in that movie.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like after that, like, I don't think there has been like many roles that like suited her as good as that one.
It's weird, isn't it? Because she was in Social Network for like a second at the beginning,
Mhm.
and then she's in that. And then yeah, like she was in a couple movies after that, and they're not like anything
They don't
special.
suit her. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
like they just like don't suit her. But yeah, I would say like the Prometheus was really fucking good. Alien was really fucking good. I like the just watching Alien, especially like watching movies that I like. I try not to fall asleep to them because I like them so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
That's why like I like kind of like the stupid TV. Like I've seen every episode
Mhm.
of Family Guy. I know it like the back of my
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
But like Alien, I went back and I looked up all of the prosthetics, how they did a lot of
Mhm.
stuff, like how they filmed things backwards to
Yeah.
look like it's happening, and then just that build up and just like the
Mm.
first time you watch that movie, just the buildup of like, like something's happening, but you don't know. And like you get like, I like movies that make me feel like I'm there, right? So you feel
Yeah.
stuffy when you watch it. You feel
Yeah.
like easy, like you feel like you're like in, like you feel like you're out there with them, you know something's going on.
Mhm.
And it's like, man, I like movies that make me feel like that.
Yes. Jaws does that to me.
Yeah.
Like a lot the whole second half of the movie when they're actually on the boat, like you feel like it's kind of seasick a little. Like you get that kind of feeling that
Yeah.
you're on the boat. Yeah. 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 I love that's like I mean, horror is my favorite genre of movies for sure. Like nothing else even comes close. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love like any kind of like sci-fi horror, like anything that can mix horror into it, like another genre that mixes it. Because we were
Yeah.
talking about before we started that you went to see Maxine, and I'm so oh God, I want to see it so bad.
It hits everything. Like, if you like that kind of like trashy heroin chic, you got that. You like the whole
Yeah.
just like 80s slasher films, you got that. You like the kind of like so you've seen Pearl and you've
Oh
seen
yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
Multiple times. Pearl
oh
was
yeah.
amazing too.
You said
Yeah.
which one was Pearl?
Pearl. Well, they're both are, but
They're
like
both-
Pearl was such a surprise to me. Like,
Dude, I didn't think I put Pearl on because I work a lot from like home doing like a lot of administrative stuff. So like what I'll do is I'll put a movie on when I'm like working and I put on Pearl not thinking that it was gonna draw my attention.
yeah.
I had to stop and watch it because T West,
Yeah.
number one, did an amazing job. Mia Goth, that girl is like, I just her crying when she didn't get the part was the most
Yes.
horrifying thing,
Oh my
you
god.
know?
And
And
the
then,
ending credits, like the
ah,
whole that smile, like
that
cry.
empty smile of like she just gave the performance of her life, and it's like, oh, the mom, just like everything, and watching her deteriorate and like basically like trying to be normal when she
Yeah.
knows that the monologue that monologue that she gives to her sister-in-law, and the
Mhm.
sister-in-law just like sits there. I was like, dude,
Yeah. She's
that was
incredible.
real.
Mia Goth. She is such a good actress, which is so I mean, it's what the Academy Awards are a bunch of bullshit for a million reasons, but but her not even getting like a
Nominated.
nomination, not even a nomination, like, okay, what actress did a better job that year than that?
Dude,
Because
you
I
don't
can't remember who won, but it wasn't somebody that did better than that. Like, it's just
No, and I think what I'm glad you said that because I think Maxine plays on that as well too, of like, she's still quenching out her thirst for fame, but it's also like
yeah,
making it in Hollywood that dog eat dog kind of
yeah.
griminess to it. But how I'm not gonna spoil anything for
Okay,
you, but how
okay.
it ties itself up, just make sure that you have
Uh,
paid attention and go back and like watch each one of them
yeah.
before you watch the final one because you're gonna
Mhm.
notice things. So I was like sitting next to people yesterday who like obviously like they didn't watch the other two films, so they didn't
Right,
know
right.
what was
Yeah,
going on.
yeah,
Like, you're not gonna know what's going on. You're not gonna notice all these like little juxtapositions and things
yeah.
like that that were from Maxine and that were from this. Because how it ties itself up is like that's fucking crazy.
I would never would wanna see it if I hadn't seen the other 2.
Yeah, I think like some people it's like, oh, like let's just go to the movies and let's just like it's a scary movie. And I think like a
Yeah.
lot of people think like you don't have to follow it to understand it. But it's like, why would you
Yeah.
start at number three when you don't know what happened in two or one?
Yeah.
And
Like
I
I
think
could see I could see doing that for like Saw, because who gives a fuck? Like Saw 12. Yeah, I don't need to
yeah,
see 7 through 11. I can miss those 4 and be
yeah.
just fine. But but for a movie that's just a trilogy, like watch the fucking first two.
And I just hope to God that they don't try and because it's been such a huge success, I just hope that they leave it as a trilogy and they don't. It doesn't seem like they tried to leave it
Yeah.
open for a fourth one. Just let
Mhm.
it be. Let it be that beautiful
Yeah.
trilogy and then start another series. Do something else. Do like another universe or something like that. But
Yeah.
it was great because it had to play on sex work. It played on adult films. It played on how Hollywood and people perceive you. It played on the 80s. Like back, I'm sure you know this, like back in the 80s, how people were like upset about like rock music and like
Mhm.
metal bands and
Yeah.
like
The PMRC and all that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it had to play a lot on a lot of different things. And I feel like if you don't understand like the history of certain things, then like it's just gonna seem like chaotic. And
Yeah.
um some people are like, oh, it's kind of cheesy. And I'm like, yeah, but it's also 80s. So like their whole thing was to make it kind of cheesy on top of
Yeah.
it, you know, like the
Yeah,
over
exactly.
shit.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen House of the Devil? It's I think it's the same person that made X and Maxine. I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's set in the 80s and filmed like it's in the 80s. It is incredible. This is like,
it's T West as well too. That was
yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
watched this because I started researching him because I was like, how have
Oh,
I not heard of any of his other movies?
he has made so many good movies. He did Your Next, which Your Next is really good.
Mhm.
He did one, it's like, I mean, it's about like the Jonestown like massacre, like the, Jim Jones
Oh,
and all
Jim
that shit.
Jones.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's like the fuck. Anyways, but it's like a film crew going out to one of those places where it's obviously like taking on the Jim Jones thing. And I'll have to send it to you once I remember the title. But yeah, he's made so many good movies. But yeah, House of the Devil is such a good movie.
Okay, I'll have to watch that one. Have you seen It Follows?
Yes, I loved It Follows.
I loved it too, and they're coming out with the second one next year.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be good.
and they have
Yeah.
the same girl. They casted the same girl, and they said that it's gonna follow. She did an interview, and she said that it is going to be a great part two because they're not trying to
Mhm.
build off of like a new story. They are just it's her later on in life and how she's
Yeah.
dealing with it.
Oh,
But I
that's
remember
yeah.
I watched that movie honestly like 2 weekends ago. I was like, okay, like let me find a movie to
Mhm.
watch tonight. And that was one that popped up. And I was like, dude, sometimes like you don't need a lot to happen in a movie for it to be scary. You're just like,
Those are my favorite kinds.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
my favorite too. Like I like a good storyline where you're like,
Yes.
ah, like that's good. I don't need the
Yes.
blood and the guts and the
And
spookiness.
and I need like anticipation. Like I like there to be not like super boring, but I like there to be a drawn out like a reward at the end of like, God, this is like it's been building. Have you seen The Witch? Um, it's like an
That's
A24
A24.
movie. Yeah, it's
A24.
A24 movie.
Yes, I've seen The Witch. Yes.
So like that kind of feel is that's what I like a
You like
slow
that?
build up. Yeah, like Rosemary's Baby for like an older
Mhm.
movie, like they all have that kind of build up to this finale that's you're just waiting for something crazy to happen, and it does. Like, yeah, and to me, like The Witch, Rosemary's Baby, I think both of those are like that. We're just like, damn, this was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
Aliens like that because you don't even see the alien in like the full xenomorph, whatever, until I think there's like 15 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah, you don't see the whole thing, right? And then you're just there because it's just like that sheer panic. It is
Yeah,
just the sheer panic and, like,
yeah,
the cool I know a lot of cool facts about Alien, but one was,
mhm.
the first time that the crustacean comes out of
Yeah,
the
the
guy,
chest buster,
the
yeah,
chest
out of
burster.
John Hurt, yeah.
Yeah, they said that, they couldn't get it to happen
Mhm.
because like it was malfunctioning. And they said when they finally got it to happen, the reaction that you saw on camera was everyone's
Mhm.
real reaction because
Yeah,
it just randomly.
yeah. Well, they also didn't tell anybody that it was gonna have the blood that much blood was gonna shoot out.
Yeah,
They
so
told
no
him that it
one
was just gonna be
knew.
this, like, little stream of blood, and so then they packed in all those, like, squib packs around John Hurt's chest, and so, like, I think her name's Nancy Cartwright. Ooh, I might be wrong, but the one of the not Sigourney Weaver, but the other woman who's in the movie,
Yeah.
like, she's, like, having a full freak out, and it was because yeah, like, she didn't know there was gonna be that much blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Well, she
like,
was
I
in
the still photos of it and the horror in everyone's
Wild.
face.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Like, I love little stories like that, little, like,
Yeah.
behind the scenes stories. Yeah. No, horror that's what's okay, what movie scared you the most as a kid?
The original Nightmare on Elm Street, I was really young when
Yeah.
I wasn't a like, and honestly, my dad fell asleep on the couch, and I sat on the staircase and watched it through the
Mhm.
banister because I didn't want to get in
Yeah.
trouble. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
and then like the whole thing was like you can't fall asleep. That shit scared the life out of me.
Genius.
Lay in bed
Yeah.
with my mom for like 2 weeks. I think I had to sleep with her in my bed for like 2 weeks because I was like, dude, like that shit was crazy.
Yeah. It's like the greatest idea for a horror movie.
Yeah,
Like,
can't go to sleep.
yeah, which is based on like things that a thing that was actually happening at that time where people were
Yeah,
dying in their sleep and they're like Vietnamese refugees in
yeah.
California. Just did like a video on that or a radio thing about that a little while back. But yeah, I mean it's fucking crazy. And yeah, Wes Craven like read those stories and was like, oh yeah, well, there's
Oh
my new
yeah.
idea.
And then he
Yeah,
said that Freddy Krueger was based off of a homeless man that he had seen.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, that man's running. And then talk about like that man's really running across the city
Yeah.
looking for that.
I know, which yeah, it makes you think like, what happened to that guy? Like, where
Oh,
is that guy right now?
yeah,
Yeah.
probably got burned up in like a meth accident.
God, well, yeah, there are no meth accidents. I'll let you know first. There are no accidents. Um, yeah, I think for me it was probably The Ring. The Ring got me
Mhm.
really good whenever I was a kid. Like staying up multiple nights, just like yeah. I
Yeah.
was way too young to see that. I mean, the first like my dad always showed me horror movies when I was a kid, so I'd like like it wasn't like a thing I had to like sneak, sneak and watch. Like he
Mhm.
was like, "Hey, we're gonna watch the the Ring," and I was like, "Oh, great!" And then about halfway through, I'm like shaking. I remember like looking up at him and being like, "I don't want to watch this anymore," and he's like, "Well, we're already watching it." I was like, "Okay."
We're already in it, son. We're
Yeah,
already in it.
I know. I was like, I guess that's the option then. Yeah. So I remember having to just sit there and finish it and just
You're forced to watch this horror movie.
oh yeah, he made me
Yeah.
watch like Children of the Corn. That one got
Oh,
me really good as a kid. Like,
dude, Children of the Corn fucked me up too.
yeah, Pet Cemetery, the original Pet Cemetery got me. Uh
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of them that he made me watch. I was like, should this be a thing you're doing to your
Is
like
this
6 or 7 year old?
punishment?
Yeah, because they also made me watch Saving Private Ryan when it came out, which when it came out, I was about 6.
Why were
Um,
you watching Saving Private Ryan?
so they were like I remember this is how stupid like kids are. I remember they told me that my great grandfather was in this like your great grandfather was there, like which he was like at Normandy or
Yeah,
Omaha Beach or
yeah.
whatever. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, this is him. Like I
Oh.
can't distinguish that this is a movie made by
Yeah,
a
like you thought
studio.
you were watching your grandpa or your great granddad be
So I thought Tom Hanks was my great granddad for about a week, where I was like, wait, why did we watch this video of like him doing this? And they're like, wait, what? Like, no, this is fake. This is a movie. For a whole week, I was like, couldn't sleep at night because I was going through like PTSD, like I was in the damn war. Like I was sitting there just imagining my friends with their, arms and guts blown out.
Dude,
It's like,
that was a fucked up movie. What was the is that the what's the one with what's the other fucked up movie where like the opening scene is like the Marine blows his head off? You're like, this
oh,
is
Full Metal Jacket.
oh, that was another rough one.
That is I think that's the most upset I've like the most nauseating, like upsetting feeling I've ever felt from a movie. It's not when he shoots himself, which is pretty rough. It's when they're beating him with the bars of soap. Like
Oh,
he is such a good actor, Vincent D'Onofrio. Like those screams sound so real. And
and like Oh, it's just yeah, that was a nauseating. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like too. Like when you feel that, just like that scene, and just like Mia
Yeah.
Goth screaming when she didn't get that part. You're just like, dude, that's more. That's a feeling that you don't come back from.
Yes. And those
You,
are like I want to have those feelings watching movies. I don't necessarily want to be like sick to my stomach, but if that scene is supposed to make you feel that way, then I want to feel that way. Like I don't watch a lot of gory movies. It's just not my thing. But I
mm,
did go down a little rabbit hole, which I probably shouldn't have. But it was I just looked up what are the most disturbing movies ever made and then just started knocking them all down. And
have you
I
seen the one that's banned from the U.S. The number one most disturbing?
um is it a Serbian film?
I don't know if it's Serbian, but I looked it up too because I was like, what are the most disturbing horror movies of all time? And there was
Yeah.
one that was, oh God, but which one do you think it is?
Well, I think the movie is actually called A Serbian Film.
No, let's see. This, I haven't heard of that one.
Okay. Because that one, I watched like a little bit of it and I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is. And then there was like Solo, which I watched that, which is that was not
Cannibal
a.
Holocaust.
Oh, I've seen Cannibal. Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust is actually because now you're seeing it 45 years later.
It's not as like,
No, there's still some parts where you're like, wow, that looks real. Like, too
yeah,
real. Which I mean, the director, I always forget his name, but he had to go to trial because they believed that he
yeah.
had actually that it was a
Killed
snuff
these
film.
people. Yeah, they thought it was a
Yeah,
snuff film. Yeah, I was researching that one. I went down that rabbit hole, and then that just led me to some other shit. And then I was like, I should probably watch some like SpongeBob SquarePants
yeah,
after this.
yeah. No, I went through a few. There were some that were like disturbing, but were incredible. Like this movie Irreversible. So I don't know if
Mhm.
you've ever seen it, but it's made by this guy named Gaspar Noah. It's like I think he's French. And the whole movie is literally like filmed in reverse. But there is like the end of the scene you're watching, when that scene ends, it becomes the beginning of this next scene that you're watching, which is confusing
Oh,
at first, but there's a s- a sexual assault scene, I'll say,
oh
with
yeah.
Monica Bellucci that is so rough, like so hard to watch. Like
Yeah,
I was about 3 minutes into the R word scene because YouTube will
yeah,
like
yeah,
shit if you say
yeah,
the word,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like 3 minutes into it and like feeling like sick, and I was like, all right, I'm fast forwarding through this. There was another 15 minutes of it. I was like, I do not like this. But then you skip that part and the rest of the movie you're like, this movie is incredible, like it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Yeah.
about another movie that had that happen. I remember like me and my friends, we had rented a movie, we like in high school and we did the same thing. And I don't know if it was The House at the End of the Road or
Oh,
whatever.
Last House on the Left.
Last House on the Left, where they like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
whole opening scene is that like her and her friends are like
yeah.
getting attacked, but then they don't like then the attacker ends up at one of the girls' house, the surviving
Yeah,
house, but he doesn't know
yeah,
that there are these fucked up doctors that'll,
yeah.
but yeah, that's
That's
those
a
are
great movie though.
that
Last
is
House on the Left. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a few where like even Girl with the Dragon Tattoo has a scene in it where you're like, oh, how to. But
ah,
then it's yeah,
yeah, but it's like in a revengeful way. That's like when she revenges her.
well, I mean, the part that he does before the revenge part is rough. But yeah, then when she sticks that like piece of wood up his ass and kicks it in, oh, I love that part. I'm like, you piece of shit, like you deserve it. Yeah, I love a good revenge movie. Like
Do you know
any
what a good revenge movie? And then what's the other one? It has a girl from Juno in it, and
Ellen or Elliot
Ellen
Page.
Page,
Yeah.
and I think it's called like Glass Flowers or something. But she baits in this guy,
That's
um,
Hard Candy.
Hard
Yeah,
Candy.
Hard Candy's such a good movie.
Dude, that's a great one. And then she gives him the sodomy, or not the sodomy,
No,
she takes his balls out.
yeah, the castrates him.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
castration.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
that one was good. And he's a pedo anyways.
Mhm,
And you're just like,
exactly.
all this is fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that movie, yeah. I remember watching that movie probably in like junior high. It might have been like actually right around when it came out and was like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Oh, sick. You know
Yeah.
what? Comcast was unhinged back in the day. I don't know if you had Comcast
No,
growing
I
up.
didn't have
I watched
Comcast, but
all those movies was on I think
yeah,
my parents like didn't want us to like go and be out in trouble. So like they just
yeah,
like got us like the best like, Comcast and all that shit, right? All the
yeah,
movies, all the DVDs. Dude,
yeah,
I remember me and my sister like watched that movie. It was like, I don't even think I was old enough to be watching that movie. And not one of those ones where I was like 13, 12 or 13. And I
yeah.
was
Probably same for me. Yeah,
like, what the fuck is going on? But that
yeah,
movie like lasted that. And then I rewatched it again. And I was like, man, that's dark.
yeah, yeah. There's been a few of those that I watched. I was like, holy fuck, I need to be taking a break after watching this. But I couldn't help it. I watched this movie Eden Lake that was really good with Michael Fassbender. It's like his first movie. I
I
mean,
know that one, but I haven't seen it.
it's great, but then it's such a good movie. But there's a scene where you're just like, motherfucker, this is so hard to watch. Like,
This is rough.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I love movies that just give me some sort of like reaction, which is
Yeah,
probably why I love horror movies. I love being like,
reactive. You have to be
yeah, I
reactive
love
to
it.
something or psychological thrillers or like anything that kind of like fucks with you. I saw this one that has that has Colin Farrell and who's the guy from Saltburn?
You're talking. I know what you're talking about. Killing of the Sacred Deer.
Killing of the Sacred Deer. That's
Oh,
a fucked up movie.
that guy makes amazing movies. Yorgos Lanthimos is the
Yeah.
director. He made this movie that was on that list called Dogtooth, and
Hmm.
it's a rough one too if you haven't seen it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Killing the Sacred Deer is so good though. He made The Lobster. The Lobster's a really good movie with Colin Farrell. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Killing a Sacred Deer. That movie made me feel so uncomfortable. Just how they talk.
And I researched like why they talk like that, and it's like, oh, like it was a part of like the psychological thriller part. But then it's like your
Yeah,
parents are fucked up. But then
yeah.
like Keegan
Barry
was,
Keoghan.
yeah, Keoghan,
Yeah,
him just like eating the spaghetti and how he talks, and then like Colin Farrell's like beating him up, and he keeps like saying monotone, just like I can just, oh, dude,
yeah.
just everything about it, and then the whole like pick and choose which one of your kids you get to live, that get to live,
God.
and then
Yeah,
like the ending scene is the daughter still loving, like still wanting to be with Keegan.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, damn, bro, damn.
God, you really do have good taste in movies, like
Thank you.
especially horror movies. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
I watched
that's
a lot.
huh?
I've watched a lot. I've watched a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, I actually keep a list of all the movies I've ever seen, which is very autistic of me, but
I
oh
love
well.
that. You
Yeah.
want to know remember, I think we were talking about this even before we logged on, but
Uh,
talking about like having terrible conversation skills sometimes because you say too much.
yeah,
So I was on set for a Halloween style shoot for this company, and I was playing like a vampire, which is very hot. It was a very hot scene, whatever. They
yeah,
did the whole over the top thing, and I remember I was getting my makeup done. And I don't know if you also watch just kind of like cult classic that no one's ever heard of, but there's this movie called The Suckling. And I remember
no,
all these girls were talking, we were like talking about like all these like cute things. And then I was like, oh guys, have you ever seen the movie The Suckling? And they're like, no, like what is it about? I was like, oh, like this young couple, they go to a brothel so they can have an abortion. The aborted fetus comes back to attack everybody at the brothel. And I was like so excited to talk about this. When I tell you that everyone for like the rest of my hair and makeup session were quiet, they just like didn't
yeah,
say anything. And they're like, oh, they changed the subject.
yeah. Well,
Maybe I shouldn't. I was like, maybe I'm just gonna, I'm done.
yeah. Well, time to go have sex right now, and
Yeah.
yep.
I got that sex, girl.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But if you haven't seen
Yeah,
it, check it out. It's bad. It's bad horror. It's terrible. Like
I'm
the
watching.
concept is supposed to be great, but the execution was not there.
Yeah, I'm all for a good movie like that for sure. No, God, I could talk to you about movies all fucking day. Like
Oh
it
yeah.
is. Yeah. It's probably without a doubt my favorite thing to talk about. But I definitely, I mean, I don't want to keep you fucking all night, although it would be easy to do. Let me see. I think okay. So I have one other movie question. If someone is to recommend a movie to you, what what would you say is the percent chance that you actually watch that movie?
Ooh.
And does it depend on the person who
I
recommended it?
like the percent chance of me watching it. I would probably say like a 60% chance. You know what? When it comes to movie, I would say about like an 80% chance. I think when it comes to like television shows, probably like a 40% chance.
Wow.
Movies, because it depends on how someone sells it. Like there's just like some things where I'm just like, nah, I just know like I'll never watch that. Like I'm not really into like the Marvel franchise. Like I
Yeah,
love Batman,
same.
I love X-Men, and I love like all those kind of movies, but like
Mhm.
it depends on what it is, you know? I think that like some people they like they can sell you on some, not sell you, but like it depends on how excited they are when they're talking about it. Cause like if
Yeah.
you're excited when you tell me a movie and you're like, oh my God, like it was just like this. I'm like, most times I'm probably gonna watch it because you're gassing it up. You're like,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. You
But
are
TV shows, I'm like, nah. TV
no,
shows, I'm
no, no.
like, no. Shit on Netflix, I'm so behind on anything on Netflix that it's like, and plus
Yeah.
I don't have 12 hours to watch a badly long drawn out movie basically, because who has 45 minutes or like an hour and a half every night to watch,
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
I'm with you. I mean, you're definitely better than I am about the movie. I usually it takes a lot for me to watch a movie someone recommends because I usually don't trust people's taste. So when they recommend it, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a real turd. And then sometimes you're pleasantly surprised. But yeah, I have to just find things on my own a lot of times. But I love recommending stuff to people, which is
Yeah,
probably a little hypocritical. But yeah, I love recommending like movies to people. But I won't recommend a show. I think recommending a TV show to someone is so selfish. Like you're asking them to dedicate like 40 hours at least.
yeah, and then
No.
like when I have to talk now because it's not most times like they're not good shows. Like most of the shit that's
Yeah.
coming out now is like a recipe for like they understand like they make the same show over and over and over again.
Yes.
That's why there's so many fucking shows. Like if it's like a one season banger, I'm here for it. One season banger, like you know, it has to be a good
Yeah.
storyline. I can
Yeah.
figure it out. 4 seasons, 5 seasons, y'all still ain't figured it out.
Yeah. I liked Mindhunters. I don't know if you watched that or Mindhunter on
Mhm.
Netflix about like the first FBI agents to look up or to interview like serial killers. It is incredible. But there was only 2 seasons. So like I don't feel as bad recommending
Yeah,
that one because it's like, all right, watch a couple episodes and if you don't like it, fuck off. But yeah, it's a good anyone who likes horror movies, I'm like, yeah, you'd like this. Like it's a fucking the show is incredible. But yeah, I otherwise, yeah, I'm not recommending fucking Game of Thrones to people.
yeah,
Like
no.
like
If you recommend, no,
yeah.
no, I'm be disappointed. I'm gonna get the fuck out of my face with this nonsense. You
Oh
know,
my god.
I
Yes.
I guess like another. Well, my show recommendation. I don't know if you like anime.
No.
Or
I've never been able to get into it. I
dude, there's one. There's
okay.
one, and it's called Devilman Crybaby, and it's a one season banger
Okay.
on Netflix, and it is horror. I mean, okay, I will put you in on a scene. This chick rips this dude's head off and keeps fucking its body.
That happens actually in a Serbian film.
Yeah.
But yeah, 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 that's a not a great thing to watch. But
It's pretty
yeah,
intense. It's pretty intense. I wouldn't recommend too many because I'm not like I do like anime. Like I'm not like a crazy anime head, but I do
yeah,
watch. There's like one season bangers I definitely get into, but that
yeah.
one was pretty gruesome and it's pretty dark.
I'll check you know what? I will check that out.
Just try, just even if it's just like
Yeah,
try
yeah, yeah.
it's like background noise for like a little bit, and then if there's like something that does catch your attention, just try.
Mhm. I will. I'll
Just
give that one a try. Because I mean, I have given a lot of anime a try and just been like, I don't fucking like this.
yeah,
But
I'm like none of this. Yeah,
not really.
I
But
feel
yeah, I will give it a try. Which look at me, broadening my horizons.
see, like you
Which
tell me something to watch, I'll tell you something to watch. I'll watch Mindhunter if that's your recommendation.
for a TV show, it would be. I wouldn't recommend anything else to you because
Movie
fuck.
wise, recommend me a
Oh,
movie.
oh, movie wise, um, actually, that Irreversible was really good.
That
Or
did
House of the Devil that I was talking about earlier.
the House of the
That
Devil.
movie's amazing. You would definitely like that one.
Okay. How am I
Yeah,
spending my Saturday night? What am I watching?
House of the Devil. Yeah,
House of the
That's a
Devil?
good Saturday night, like fun. I mean, it's not necessarily that fun of a movie, but it is a pretty fun movie to watch. But it is like set in the 80s, looks like it's filmed in the 80s. They all wear like 80s clothes and everything. It's good. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
very good movie.
Okay. I would recommend either seeing Maxine or there's this other one that I saw, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it has Paz de la Huerta in it. You know who I'm talking about? That girl.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Um,
Ooh, I don't know what movie it would
Enter
be.
the Void.
Is it
So,
called Enter the Void or just The Void?
oh, it's called Enter the Void.
Okay.
You
I
know what
have
I'm
not
talking about? It's
yeah, that title sounds super familiar, but I don't know. I
so
definitely have not seen it.
it's set in like a neo Tokyo Japan,
Okay.
and her and her brother live out there. It's like a drug deal gone wrong,
Mhm.
but it's so the brother, whatever, I'm not going to ruin too much for you, but it is set in a point of view. So you're looking, it's a POV movie, but instead of like it being POV from the lens, it's POV from the back of his head.
Oh,
But
okay.
when I tell you that this movie is insane, like the whole synopsis, the whole everything is just insane. Definitely Paz de la Huerta. I'm a huge fan of her. I think she's really hot.
Yeah. Oh,
She
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
has
yeah.
like that hot chic thing in. She's a
Yeah.
stripper. Her and her brother have like this kind of offbeat and weird, almost like sexual relation. It's all fucked up. It's all
Like
fucked.
Angelina Jolie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, yeah.
really good one, and it's colorful. The Neo Japan, of course, like all the lights, and I think it was made like in the 2010s, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. I think it was really good. 2009,
Okay.
and I think you would like it. And not a lot of it. I liked it a lot. I told someone else to watch
Yeah.
it, and they're like, "That's fucked up that you told me to watch that movie."
That's not gonna happen with me. I mean, I've
Okay.
seen, I think, probably the worst that you could see. So yeah. No, I will 100% watch that tonight for
Okay,
sure.
cool. Enter the Void. It's
Into
on,
the
I don't
Void.
know, all the streaming platforms, or if you're, but it's on Tubi. That's how I saw it. Tubi got some good, low key, good movies on there.
They
Uh,
got a lot of bullshit on there too.
they got a
Holy
lot of bullshit, but if you get your
yeah.
algorithm right, they'll start recommending you some great fucking
Okay.
movies. There's some trash, and sometimes I'll be into the trash. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what is this mess?
Yeah. Well,
And
Netflix is the same way.
Netflix is the same way, and of
Yeah.
course, Amazon Prime has good. It might be on Amazon Prime too, but I know for
Yeah.
sure that that's the only reason I saw it was recommended to me on Tubi.
Okay. I will watch. Yeah. 100% going to watch that tonight for sure.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I'll watch Irreversible or Reverse.
No. Watch House of the
House of
Devil.
the Devil.
Yeah. I'll text it to you, but yeah. Just watch House
Mhm.
of the. Yeah. That would be a good one to watch, I think.
We got
Yeah.
this. We got this, and
Hell
then
yeah.
we'll have to reunite, and we'll have to put together. We have to collectively like share notes.
I'm 100% down.
And you better make sure that you go see Maxine before there are any
Yes.
spoilers out.
No, I'm planning to go see it. Actually, I might go see it tomorrow.
Go
So
see it tomorrow. I might go
yeah.
see it again, honestly. I
Yeah.
haven't gone to go see a movie twice back to back in a long time, but I think I
Oh,
might
me
go see
either.
Maxine, and I might go see, and I can't wait for the new Alien movie to come out. Those are my two.
God,
There's like another one coming out this weekend called Long Legs.
oh, I can't wait for that. That's the same girl that's in It Follows.
Is
Is in
that the
Long
same
Legs.
girl in It
Yeah,
Follows?
yeah.
They
That
didn't really.
movie is supposed to be like insanely good, which who
Okay.
knows? But yeah. I've heard really good stuff from the Long Legs. So yeah,
Okay.
check that
Cool.
out if
We're
you
gonna
get
do
a
that this
chance.
week, and this will be 3 weeks in a row that I have gone to the movie theater, and I
That's
haven't done
good.
that in so long.
I can't even tell. Yeah, I
Isn't that
completely stopped
crazy?
going. Yeah, it just one of those things. Like nothing was coming out that I gave a shit to see, and like
Mm-mm.
just to go through all that hassle. Like yeah, just which I need. I got to start doing that. So
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
yeah,
It's nice.
no, look, this has been fucking incredible. I've had a great time talking with you. Um, any
Like,
last? Thank you so much. Any last words before we go? Any final thoughts? Your hopes for the future? Thoughts on the Middle East? I don't know. Something. Oh, Ukraine? Are you big into that? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I fucked like this. I fucked a Serbian dude in a shoot last week. I've been with all kinds of different people. I'm a lover of all things, and I guess my hopes for myself is to be topless in a horror movie one day.
I feel like that could be done very easily for you.
Like I want it to be like in an A24 movie. Like I need it to be like,
Okay.
or like a D, or it could be like a whatever. But yes, coming to a theater near you. Hopefully, we're gonna make that work. We're gonna make that happen.
I would, yeah, that's probably a pretty easy thing to make happen for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
But yes, and I do love all, I mean, yes, everything that's going on in the world is completely terrible, but I would
Well,
like to keep it on a high note.
oh no, you don't. You don't actually have to tell me.
I'm
what's
gonna keep it
bad.
on a high note, guys. Yes,
Yeah.
I love you guys. I'm a lot smarter than that last statement that I made about fucking a Serbian dude. I'm a lot more politically well aware of what's going on. It's just not my mindset right now. I've had such a great conversation with
No.
you. It's been an amazing time. And thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely.